Hello and welcome to episode 150 of Men and Women Talk to Mars Venus Show. I am one of your hosts, Kinte, all the way live from Los Angeles, California, and I'm so happy to be here with my beautiful, wonderful, amusing co-host, Teddy P's mom, Shannon. How you doing?
I'm good. Live and direct from Key West, Florida, and work.
Yeah, and she's not in her apocalypse bunker, y'all. And if you think that,
I'm an essential worker.
yeah, so you are definitely doing the Lord's work for sure. So we appreciate it.
You have no idea. We could talk for an hour about that alone.
I bet. But I am, like I said, I'm happy to be here with you. And this is the last day of the month. No, tomorrow's the
Last Monday of the month.
last Monday of the month. It's gonna be April, April Fool's Day. So beware of what you read and what people tell you and stuff like that. Um, I tend to on April Fool's Day not trust anything I hear on that day.
Yeah.
And I remember a couple of years ago, this guy wrote a Facebook post. The guy is from the UK, a guy that I know, and he put a picture up of Fox, the studio out here, and said he was there to pitch his animated feature for Fox.
Mm-hmm.
So all the comments, including mine, was like, "Ha ha, right, April Fools." No, it was true. He really had come out. He couldn't understand why people were like, saying, and then he realized, oh no, you guys think it's. So then he had to post a picture of him in front of. He really was out here at Fox,
right?
And, pitch his thing. So, which was I thought was pretty funny. And then a friend of mine who's been on the show once before, Felina. She posted pictures of her getting married on April Fool's Day. And, she's someone who's been single like a long time. I didn't even know she was in a relationship. And then, of course, no one believed it. Turned out, no, she really was getting married on April Fool's Day. She was legit. And I believe she's married to this day. So, this April Fool's Day will be whacked. It's too much playing. Hilarious.
My cousin pretended to be engaged one year. She borrowed one of her coworkers' engagement ring or wedding ring or whatever, and sent us all messages talking about I said yes. And we was like, to who? N-word? Like, who?
Yeah. A terrible thing to do would be to propose to like your girlfriend on April Fool's Day and then be like, April Fools. And she's like, she'll probably shoot you. I think you could get away with it. I think there's a law that says if you do that, she can actually legally shoot you and kill you.
I mean, it would be just as worse as for someone to say no to a proposal and just be like, April Fools, just kidding. Of course I'll marry you.
Well, at least there's a happy, like, at least it's happiness afterwards. But it'd be, there's no happiness to the I'm just kidding. Then, we're just going to keep living in sin.
Why are you trying to blow up people's spot?
Hey, man, it is what it is. We were talking earlier, and I want some help from the audience. I already said this to Shannon, but since we have some ladies in the chat room, as you know, y'all have been ladies a long time, or women a long time.
Stop saying that. We've been ladies our whole life.
You got to say that in these days, right? Hey, what's up, Wrench? Women, all right, as a man, women shopping for a woman like her birthday or Valentine's Day or whatever day can be hard, right?
Yeah.
Especially if she hasn't really communicated something that she wants, right? It can be hard, right? You want to, you love this girl, the woman, you want to, do something special. So if you don't offhand know exactly it is what she wants, then you got to come up with something yourself, right? And that can be difficult, right? So my question I asked Shannon, and I want the ladies in the chat room to chime in, is if he goes the fashion route, would you rather your dude just try to come up with something that you may enjoy, an outfit or whatnot? Or would you prefer him to just go, look, I know you like to shop at, let's say, Lane Bryant or wherever you like to shop at. And here is a gift, a substantial gift card. Have at it. What would you ladies prefer? Put it in the chat room. You said, can you reiterate what you said?
I said that it depends on him in terms of his ability to have some style, and if he's aware of my style. If he has style and he knows mine enough and he feels comfortable, I'd say go for it. If he has no style and he don't know how to shop for other people, gift card, please. Because the worst thing ever is for somebody to get something you don't like or you can't fit, and then you have to take it back. Because then it almost feels like, well, you didn't like it. Well, I can't fit it, bruh.
Would you be offended if he got something really bigger than you are? Because I know some women say, like, how big you think I am?
It depends on what it is. If he got me okay, so this is awful, but I really want this to happen in my life. I just don't want to pay for it. I want somebody to buy a really amazing jean skirt, huge jean skirt, and I want to sew it into a big handbag. Now, I don't even like purses, but I refuse to pay the price for a jean purse that I saw, like $600.
Oh, wow.
So I'm thinking myself. So yeah, something like that. I would be like, can I repurpose this? Because I'm clearly not going to wear that size 28X you bought. Because I'm nowhere near that size. Maybe in the boobs, but not in the body. So,
yeah. I've learned never to ask. This is from the chat room. I've learned never to ask what kind of birthday cake she'd like, resulted in hours of tears, because if I loved her, I'd have known what she wanted.
That's a little intense, I'd have to say. Now, I will say, just from experience, my staff where I work, they asked me what kind of cake I like. And I had said chocolate, but I also like Oreos, like an ice cream cake. And I gave kind of some descriptives, and I said things that I didn't like. Nobody listened. Like, I do not like buttercream frosting, and I got a cake with buttercream frosting. I was grateful. I did share it with other people because all I do is clear off all the frosting. With no tears involved. Somebody was like, well, you didn't say thank you. I did. I said thank you in a group chat because only 2 people were at work when the cake was given to me. But yeah, I wouldn't be doing no tears, and I'm never going to assume that, well, it was all women. They wanted a complex answer.
Right.
They was asking me like colors, and I was like, y'all, and I told them, you don't have to buy me a cake. I would be totally content with a cupcake. Like, you don't have to buy me a whole cake. I'm not gonna eat a whole cake. It was really funny. But we don't have edible arrangements. That would be my preferred gift.
I love edible arrangements. Oh my God. But you know what I've learned about edible arrangements though? It's hit and miss sometimes. Like,
it is.
Yeah. Like, it is. When it's on point, oh my, it's the best.
But my friend girl in Omaha, she started making her own.
Really? Okay. I guess, yeah.
Yep.
As much as things cost, yeah.
Cut them up and ship them out or drop them off at your house. So since I don't have an edible arrangements, the closest one is 4 hours away. I might have to start making my own too.
Yeah, I love those things. Those are like the best. If you can't see us, try refreshing. I don't know what's the deal. I'm getting a message. Okay. Okay. Have I ever told you the coach story?
No.
Okay, I might not have told the story. All right, so I had this buddy, right? And let's just say he was in the doghouse with his lady.
All right.
You know, not cheating, but you know, he just constantly was in a bad way with his woman, right?
Okay.
So Christmas was coming up, right? A couple of months away. And his woman just came to him and said, "Look, I want a Coach bag. That's what I want for Christmas." Right? So he's like, "Okay." Now me and him and a couple other guys were going to Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And they have, outlet stores there and stuff like that. So she was like, "When you go there, get my Christmas gift." This was like maybe 2 months before or something like that. So he said, "Okay, okay." So he set his money aside that he was going to get it. So we all go to Las Vegas, right? And we're having a great time,
Mm-hmm.
gambling and stuff. And he goes through all of his other money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty fast. Only money he got left is the money that was supposed to be set aside for their purse, right? So he said, "You know what? I feel lucky." And we're like, "Dude, just go get the purse." He's like, "No, I feel lucky." So he starts. Of course, he loses the, the Coach money.
I knew where this was going.
Then he loses. Then he starts taking other money out, and we're like, "Dude, just stop." Right? So we come back to Vegas, right? I mean, you come from back from Vegas, right? And his woman's like, "You got my gift, right?" And he's like, "Oh, yeah, right." So this fool is now frantically online trying to get a replacement, right? Maybe I can get it on eBay. I can get it on this is some years ago, so Wish wasn't around. So he's trying to get it off of eBay, he's trying to get it off of Amazon. So he ends up finding something that's supposed to be a Coach bag, right?
It was not.
So he orders it, right? He's like, "Oh, and this is like way cheaper than what I was gonna spend." He's like, "I figured this shit out, right?" That thing took forever, but it came before Christmas, right? So this fool just wraps it up. So she opened up her gift. It wasn't a Coach bag.
I bet it wasn't.
It was like Oach or something like that. It was something.
This fool said, "Oh, I need you to sit in the corner."
It was like it was something like that. She was pissed.
Oh,
Oh my god, it was so off.
that's
Man.
unfortunate. I went to a thrift store or a secondhand store, or whatever you want to call it, and I bought a name brand purse. And I'm not into brands. If anybody knows me, I mean, my favorite place to shop is online. And so, I wish I could shop at Target, but I don't have one of those either.
Oh wow.
So, I bought this purse, and I bought it because it's one of my favorite colors, orange. And I ain't gonna tell you how much I paid for it. I liked the size of it. It was more like a suitcase for your arm.
Mm-hmm.
And I think within 2 months, I was like over it, and I gave it to my mom, and my mom gave it to my sister.
Oh wow.
And I will never, ever, 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 ever buy another purse again, because
you're just not the purse lady, no?
Nope. I had somebody say that to me. "Well, where'd you get your designer handbag from?" And I was like, "Well, first off, I don't even wear handbags, so you've pinned me for the wrong person." And the bags that I do wear, they're very small and they're crossbodies. So, and none of them are like a Coach or a Louis or anything like that. Like the last one I got, I think I got from Poshmark or Target or something.
But I should see you as a big purse lady.
Why?
Because you're the snack queen. So I just picture.
I am the snack queen, but I have bags. Like,
oh,
I have a book bag. My current book bag is really small though, but I have a big, like, reusable grocery bag right now. Do you want to know all the stuff that I brought to work today?
You would be cool to be quarantined with, because You gonna be eating good.
Do y'all need me? Like, do we need a recap like 2 weeks ago? Do you need me to pull out all my snacks?
Oh wow, yeah.
What did I bring today? I made some chicken breasts today at home and a salad and then some boiled eggs. I have some pineapples and a grapefruit and some Bavita breakfast bars and some banana bread, English muffins, and some brown sugar and cinnamon cream cheese.
Oh wow.
I have some watermelon coconut water and some teas and coffees and assortment, some hazelnut creamer, some lentil chips, garlic and Parmesan, some popcorn, both microwave and truffle salt.
Wow.
And some candies.
Hard candy?
Mm-hmm.
You know what that means when you start carrying hard candy in your purse.
I'm a grandma.
Right.
So I have got all the snacks, and I didn't even name everything I literally have on my person. I got some chocolate almonds, both dark and milk chocolate.
So if you got kids, you'd be like, go to Auntie Shannon. She got something for you.
All my friends.
Yeah.
Every time I go visit somebody, that's the first question they ask me. What snacks you got?
What snacks you got? Oh man.
You could ask any of them. Tracy, Kim, Audrey, even my mom when I come home. What snacks did you bring? I mean, I board the plane with a big container of like mixed berries, strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, and pineapples every time I get on the plane. So I definitely got snacks. Oh, I got some sunflower seeds too, regular and ranch.
Wow.
Hang out with me. I'm telling you, you won't starve.
Now, Ryan, we're talking about as how hard it can be as a guy to buy gifts for your lady, right? Not some chick you just messing with. I'm talking about your actual lady, right? With buying her gifts for whatever. Are you more of a I'm gonna get her a gift, or here's a gift card, honey, just go knock yourself out?
Well, first and foremost, I was raised by women. So daddy wasn't home, the typical Lifetime story, Hallmark story. So my sisters, I had grandma, I had mom, and they would make me watch Waiting to Excel. So I was indoctrinated on how to treat a lady, realizing a lot of that stuff goes out the window because the women go and flock to the guys that treat them badly. I was taught to open the door, and I've always was taught to when it came to gifts, to be romantic. And so like at the first few dates, I start asking questions like, so what do you like? What's your favorite color? What kind of chocolate do you like? Do you, because right now my girlfriend, she likes antiques. Okay. She likes anything to do with like I'm going to buy her a deck of like those cards for tele reading and stuff like that. And things of that nature. But I ask in advance and I write it down. So when it comes down to it, because like for her birthday, I bought her a basket of, because she likes Japanese. She likes Japanese treats and stuff, right? So, yeah. So I bought her a big basket of candy from Korea and from Japan, and put stuffed animals and delivered it to her work. So I'm that guy. I like to put effort into it because you better put effort when it comes to my gifts.
Oh, Monica, we can hear your radio in the background. You want to turn the radio off?
Yeah, but
thank you.
But yeah, no, but that's essentially like that's essentially what I do. But I know that's suicide, because if I were to, my mom is the worst person to buy gifts for. My grandma, because they already have everything that they want, right? And then when you give them something, they're like, "Oh, what is? What is this? Oh yeah, it looks nice. Yeah, man. Yeah, Ryan, that looks good." So I just learned to be very thoughtful. And the best thing to do with my mom and my grandma is buy them orchids. They like orchids, and I, will go out of my way to buy orchids or wine, anything to do with alcohol. That's it. But you have to be very thoughtful when it comes to your lady, because remember, she's the one that's going to be wiping your booty when you are, 90 years old.
Or right now, it could be right now.
I like human experience more than gifts. I'm with you on that, Angela Marie. I like quality time and physical touch more than I like gifts.
Now here's another thing too. Like I hear that roses are not the thing anymore. Like women feel like that's just too easy to go the rose route.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that, Monica, or are you down with roses?
I just think it's just too easy. I think like it doesn't matter either way. It shouldn't matter what you get. It's the idea that you put into it. So if you, for example, I don't know, I'm really simple. Like if someone says, you know what, we're gonna go to the park and then we're gonna go eat out, and then if you want to go see a movie, like I don't mind. It's the idea of you giving that time, your time, and you emphasis that it is your special day with her. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But roses, like for me, it's like I'd rather not get roses. I'd rather you pick a flower off the road. I could care less, because I think that when you get the whole typical, mind you, it's beautiful to get roses. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I'm just saying like sometimes you got to put a little bit more thought into that. Or don't get her roses. Give her a letter. Tell her how much you care about her and what she means to you. That is like straight up orgasmal. Like I like that stuff because for me it means more. You know what I mean? It's much more deeper than just giving a rose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What about
I don't know.
It says things that show you paid attention to what she likes without her telling you. Okay.
Some people like roses. I mean, that it's all about each person is different. I'm not a rose fan either. I think they're pretty to look at, but I don't necessarily have to have them in my home. Things that are thoughtful to me might be like, my favorite chai tea. Or I like hazelnut creamer or tacos. Everybody always jokes, you can't do nothing for Shannon without bringing her tacos. Some music, like sending me a link to some new songs and things like that. It doesn't always have to be spending money.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, what about this? He or she they hold on to something. No, saying hold on, that sounds suspicious. Okay, so I think I kind of brought this up once before, but this is a different audience. Okay, so you were dating somebody. Okay, Ryan was dating this chick, and she made for him the most beautiful bed cover for his bed. Right, this thing is amazing, right? And now you're dating Ryan, and you find out that his ex had made that. Are you gonna feel some kind of way? Are you gonna feel some kind of way?
Steph is like, fuck them covers.
Ryan knows what's up. It ain't cool. No, I'm joking.
I mean, it's very beautiful.
That's a good question. That's a really cool question.
I've kept all my ex's gifts. Like for example, this was that was from that's from my current girlfriend. She gave it to me back in the days, but then I had other relationships, you know, and I kept it up. I just, you know, you just learn over time just not to say where you got it from.
Yeah, I mean, but you don't want to lie, right? You don't want to be a liar, so.
I mean,
Well,
if
you don't have.
Is it really relevant?
Yeah, I mean,
do I have to be like, this is what Lola gave me, this is what Joaquina gave me, this is no. I mean, I don't think it's something that you gotta explain.
You ain't okay. You
I have to ask you why though. For example, one of my
going into the
wearing a sweatshirt, and she was in another relationship with somebody, but she was wearing a sweatshirt that another man gave her, and I was like, but why though?
like
She was wearing what? Sorry.
She was wearing a sweatshirt that another man gave her, and she was in another relationship, and I was like, but why though? Why do you need to wear that specifically?
But Kate, totally understand. But what if
bleach accent?
like, what if it's a nice sweater and she just want to wear it because she just likes it? Is she gonna go around with the text saying, "Oh, Brian gave this to me"? Like, is someone gonna ask for that?
That's the principle. The principle about it.
No, yeah, I understand.
He saw her wear it because she also goes on live every week. So he would comment, "Oh, you got on my sweatshirt." So
Well,
I was like, no.
But you know,
I was like, turn it into a clean brand if you feel the need to keep it.
With the cover though, you women are not stupid. You know that didn't come from Ross, so like that didn't get picked up in no store. So you might be curious, like, oh, where, because it could be from his late grandmother or whatever, and then he's like, my ex made it for me.
All my bed sheets. It's so funny because all my bed sheets come from my girlfriend. So it's like she like. Pardon?
Be careful what you're saying on here.
Because like. What?
You're digging yourself a hole.
No. Hear me out. Well, she was living with me, but obviously women, you can't tell them you can't tell them, to live in a house without them making it their own. So she bought the covers. So what am I supposed to do? It's the recession right now.
Break up, bruh. I'm taking my sheets back with me. You need to get your own.
No.
Okay.
Listen, I think lingerie is out of the question. If it's a sweater, if it's something that no one ever, it's just whatever. I understand the principle. Hardcore, agree with you. I mean, if I'm going to go on something that he's going to notice it, but at the same time, why is he been going on her stuff? Like, I mean, they could be friends, they could be whatever. I could see where that's kind of awkward. But like, I think lingerie is like out of the question. Like, forget it. That's another world. Like, you can't use the same lingerie.
I had friends. I had friends, mutual friends of ours, Monica. But I had friends that used to keep collections of lingerie of their ex-girlfriends.
Wow, I heard of that stuff. I've never seen it.
Yeah.
Why
it's a collection. You know what I mean?
No.
It was, but I think,
you know who also collects stuff like that? Serial
killers, right? All right.
Yeah.
Here's another situation. So, you moved into your boyfriend's apartment, right? And you're cleaning out and stuff, and you find a shoebox, and in the shoebox is letters that previous girlfriends have written him, cards, stuff like that. He keeps them as.
How old is he? How old is he that he still has this shoebox?
I have all my old letters that I wrote him when we were 16. He's a man.
He keeps them. He kept them. They meant them.
He's a big boy now. It's time to let go of your flipping 10-year-old love. That's it. It's done.
Necessarily right.
First of all, hilarious.
No, it's true. People still do that, but I don't know. I've never met anybody that's had a shoebox of happy moments in my life.
I've had some people have
I'm weird.
in a box.
Listen, I can understand if you're like in a certain age range, but like I'm 34. If I see a guy that still has a shoebox at 34, it just kind of worries me.
Okay,
Like,
what if his
Well, I'm older than you, and I necessarily don't have a problem with it.
you said your mama's
I-
house?
no, it's cool. I just don't know anybody.
Because what if,
Funny.
because
That's
at
funny.
our age, most people may have already been married. So what if it was their high school sweetheart and they had those letters?
Right.
And
Those
Right.
have value. Those do have
And they're deeply in love with them still, and they keep their panties and their love and their
your high school
memories.
sweetheart.
Okay, wait, hold up.
no,
Yeah.
You may
You know what I have?
Shannon.
You know what I have? I have I do have
The new day sheriff in town.
I have an old photo book of all of my memories, and they had every one of my girlfriends in them. I never really thought to throw them away. My son found the book. He's like, "Daddy, what's all this, Daddy?" You know, he's like, "All these your girlfriends?" And I'm like,
That's great.
"Yeah, I didn't think to throw them
Yeah.
away. They were memories. I don't know what should I put it in Evernote? Like, take a
you
picture,
better
snap it."
Yeah, leave him
You
at
better
your mama's
burn the
house.
memory in your head and burn the book. Like,
Wow. That is so
But I
funny.
didn't. I just totally forgot about the book. I just
Garbage
had it
can.
because I think when you're younger, you want to like, you know, for guys, we're like, yeah, this is my girlfriend. This is my girlfriend. That was like when you were young, right? I had that book, and I just put it like, time has lapsed. Like, when last have you guys ever held a photo in your hand?
what the good word says. When I was a child, I acted like a child. I talked like a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. I need you to
I
throw
did-
that book in.
No,
I don't know.
I'm gonna have to Evernote
Evernote
in first.
You can't keep any kind of keepsake of a past.
In case I get dementia with all the CMOS.
Oh man, that's funny.
You are not going to get dementia from people.
That is funny. That is funny. Okay, so don't keep them with keepsakes. At least at your place. Keep them at your mama's place. According to this.
Oh,
Keep
yeah.
everyone say, be like, "Mom, here you go," but she's gonna throw it in the trash.
She's like, come get all your stuff. I'm like, we don't live in the same state, ma'am. She's like, you better come get it.
I better be the pinnacle, the ultimate. Nobody compares. Hilarious. Hilarious. Oh man, that's funny though.
no,
No, thank you.
none.
So okay,
I
I mean, all right. My question though, Ryan, would you?
Mhm.
How would you feel if your woman had kept keepsakes from past relationships?
Yeah. How would you feel?
Well, I actually had a situation where that happened, and
Okay.
It's a situation. Why?
Okay, Monica, hi, how's it going? Because she was it was weird actually, because she was married previously, and she had memories of her marriage, like she had all that stuff, and it's that stuff that I could understand. The only thing is, like, the guy looked like me, and I was looking at him like, because there's a story. I went, and I was in a relationship with her, and then I left her for my baby mama, and then it didn't leave her for the baby. I broke up, and then I ended up with my baby mama again. I was going back and forth, and then I had a kid, and then I proposed publicly online. Like, I had a guitar player who, like, my baby mama was coming out of the airport, and she was pregnant at the time, and so I had a historic ring from my mentor that was like from 1800s or whatever. So I went and proposed to her in an airport with a guitar player and everything, and that was all over social media. So she go find out, and then she goes and gets married. And then I looked at the pictures, and I'm like, hey, this guy looks a lot like me.
No. This is insane.
Pictures of like, you gonna get rid of those pictures because like you don't need to have those, But I don't really care if you have those memories because they're memories. Like I don't want to cuss, but I know I will provide for my girlfriends. I am very confident that I'm the man in my relationship. So I don't really does it really matter? Not really for me.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't really matter, but if she's every Friday night drinking a glass of wine and going through them, then you might want to take a look at that. But other than that, she's by the side of the bed and she's like holding his T-shirt that he had, she's never washed. Yeah, right.
That's pretty intense. Right. I'm gonna need somebody to do some healing and some therapy.
That's
true.
That is straight up
for sure.
Like,
okay.
Duh. I agree with Shannon.
Can I?
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, would you if Shannon and you were in a relationship, and Shannon had a marriage previously? Would you require her to burn all of her marriage stuff, the stuff that had a sentimental moment at the time? Because you wouldn't say you wouldn't let her do that. I wouldn't. I let her do it on her own time, but I wouldn't want to take that.
Well, the beauty of it is, if he was in a relationship with moi, I would already be healed and whole from that relationship before I entered one with him. And I'm not going to be opening that box to have cookie moments about my ex-husband when I'm with someone else who is probably laying the pipe pretty well, or we would not be together. So,
she got a point. I'm a
I love it under, winter garments that I never wear in the state of Florida. So,
okay.
And that's just me. I mean, I don't hold on to a whole lot of sentiments in terms of ex relationships. Marriages are different, I understand that. But it is, what's the motive behind it? Like Kinte said, are you sitting at home on Friday nights, drinking wine, watching old videos of your crying over? Just every time you do something, do you say, "Oh, Richard used to do this"?
Yeah, gross.
Go to Richard then.
Right.
Good girl.
Or I don't need you to deal with that if Richard is deceased.
Right. Yeah, that's correct.
I mean, there's some. That's why I said people need to go into relationships fully healed and whole, or at least understanding that there's some healing that still needs to take place. And then if they're going to agree to have grace during that period, because healing can take time, and time is a luxury some of us can't afford to waste.
No, that makes sense though. I totally agree with you. So it really depends how you look at it. But I do agree with everything Shannon's saying. I think at one point, if they did pass away and there's something that was traumatic maybe, and you're like, oh, I was just thinking, I can understand that sometimes. And that's something that will always sit with you, because it wasn't like you separated because, it was a mutual, or you left or he left. But at the same time, you can't move on if you're not ready to move on. You know what I mean? So it's understandable what you're saying, 100%. Would I like a guy that I'm dating to have, that type of, no, I wouldn't. But that's just me. It's not that I'm cold. It's just, are you ready? Are you going to move on? Or are we going to be all sentimental with all the stuff that you have? And no, get over it. You're with me. And if they're with you and they can't let go, then they shouldn't be with me. Because that person would want your full attention. It's not because they're cold. It's because you're with them, So it makes you feel like you're not enough. Not cool.
Okay. All right. So before we get on out of here, we have about 20 minutes. there's a couple of things that other things I want to kind of get to when it comes to these kind of topics. And one thing is, okay, so when you are in a serious relationship,
Mm-hmm.
yes, you're with that person, but you're also with their people too, in a way.
What do you mean?
Um, like
friends.
their friends, their
Well, like,
friends, their family. I'm talking about if you're in a serious relationship, their friends, their family, their dog, their, whatever it is, right? If they have children, as well. And
What?
I've been in situations where I think most of the situations I get along pretty well with people, so didn't have any problems. But then I have situations where I didn't particularly care for somebody they really love. You know what I mean? Like their homegirl, their favorite best friend that they go to when all is me and her didn't jive. I've had that situation happen before.
Right.
And it can be challenging because a lot of times that person is the person that they get their ear when, things are going on. So, that can definitely mess up your situation.
Mm-hmm.
But my thing is when you are involved with somebody and you don't care for, not that they're bad people, it's just they're not your kind of people. Like, how do you navigate that? Like, when, let's say, in your case, Monica, like your man, best friend, you're not feeling that person. You enjoy that person's company. Not saying that they're, trouble.
Yeah, yeah. It's a good question. Honestly, the person that I would be, I would walk around them like as if they didn't exist. Unfortunately, yeah, I would. Because you know what? You can only do so much to try to impress somebody to the point that if you're changing yourself for the person that if you find yourself changing who you are just to impress somebody, you're losing yourself and who you are in general. And that's the type of person that person loved. I mean, does that make sense? Sorry, it's kind of so if I'm going to be impressing somebody that doesn't with me, that doesn't tell me they love me, that has nothing to do with my relationship, only because they're friends with my man, I'd be like, listen, they can come over, you guys can play your PlayStation, you can go do your barbecue. I'm going to be there, but it doesn't mean that I need to, be buddy if they're not willing to try. Because if I can be in a room and be civil and that person can't, then you need to evaluate your friend. And if there's a reason why they're so upset and they need to straight up talk to me, then tell your friend to be an adult and have a good conversation with me and let's figure it out. But I don't think you should change yourself so much to the point that you're a different person. And really, they're not in your relationship. And that's just about respect. Like, I could totally understand where they're BFFs and all that stuff. That's cool. I've been in that and honestly, in the end, after we actually, I don't know what it was that we did, that in the end they're like, oh, cool, like she's down, like we can talk and this and that. You just got to give them time to see that as well, because sometimes people have the wrong perception of you, or people think wherever they got in their brains, or they assume, you got to kind of just be yourself and let them see it for themselves. I don't know.
I've had the situation where they're like, oh, you're going to definitely love this person who's their friend. Oh, yeah, you guys are very similar and all of that stuff. And then when you meet them, you're like, I don't like this. Yeah.
Oh, and
it's like, no. And sometimes you see things that your mate don't see about that person. They're totally blind.
Yeah.
They're like, what do you mean? Yeah. And they think you're tripping. And then, so sometimes that happens as well. because sometimes we're so blinded by how much we love the person that we don't realize what they may be doing or right. So
to them,
right,
not even
right.
to you, to them.
It's
Yeah,
definitely a trip. Yeah, but it can be tough, especially when it's like a family member, like
oh, of course.
like a parent or a
It's
brother
worth
or sister. Yeah, that's
yeah.
because they ain't going nowhere. So you
Uh,
know,
I've been in that situation when
mm,
it's family. Oh God, because at that point it's a different respect. It's
right.
not just a friend, it is a family member. So I think in that aspect, if you're really serious and you really want and you're this person and you really are happy, I still think that you need to be the smart, the more adult and just show them that because listen, you can't tell a person how great
Mm-hmm.
you are. They got to see it, you know? So I truly believe that if you're able to walk around them, still be civil, still be in, let's say, family gatherings. And if you got to cook, you got to cook. You got to invite them to your house because that's family.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. But then if it comes to the point that they're straight out rude
Mm-hmm.
and disrespectful for God knows what reason, I think it makes more sense to just confront them and be like, hey, what's going on here? What is it that your issue's about? And then kind of talk with them. I'm more like, um, it's okay to be uh, like to communicate what your issue is. I don't like to hardcore grudge on stuff, especially in that type of situation. You don't want that.
Yeah,
That's
you tell
family.
somebody their mama's stuff,
Mind you, there's people
you know, you can't.
you know,
So yeah, it's tough. It's
you
definitely.
can't. Because don't forget,
Mhm.
family, they're always going to assume that they're right because they're the
Right.
family of that person. And that's another issue because she's going to be like, oh, my family. But you're big now. You're not 18 years old. Like you gotta learn how to juggle that and like it's kind of funny because I say that like it depends like how grown in your relationship are you? Are you willing to be the bigger person? Be like, what's going on here? Like, what is your issue? Let's just talk about it. I'm at that point in my life. You have to be able to talk. If you can't talk and have a reasonable conversation, whether it comes to an argument or a disagreement and learn how to talk to a person, it doesn't work either. Instead of just being upset and saying, okay, it's over. No, if you like the person, go out of your way to understand it and understand what's going on. Because maybe you did something wrong and you're not aware of it. You don't know. Sometimes it happens. It's normal. We're all human, but you guys, I'm gonna jet because I have to do my show is right. But I wanted to jump on here because I haven't
All
been
right.
on here for a million
And I'm gonna
years,
check it out.
and I haven't seen Shannon
I'll
for
be there
like
to
a
check it
million
out.
years. Yeah, so I wanted to see how you guys are doing. So hopefully I'll get your next
All right.
reminder and
Have a
I'll
good
come in
one.
again. Okay.
All right.
Bye,
Bye.
guys. Thank you for having
Peace.
me.
All right. So
A few minutes, y'all.
yeah, just a few minutes.
So I got an issue.
Okay.
It's 2020 and I'm about to become a hoe.
Oh no.
Why not?
Because the one thing that's good in the world is that Shannon isn't. I don't want to live in a world that Shannon's like that.
Christmas is gonna come early. Ho ho ho.
I don't even know how to exist in a world where Shannon is a hoe.
I mean, after COVID-19 is over, I'm about to be in them streets.
That's interesting, right? COVID-19. You can't have what is it? What do they call it? You have to do social distancing.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. Even people you love, you got to have a distance to them, right? And okay, wow, that sounds like a chimpanzee. So the hardest thing for a lot of people is that although we're in quarantine, we still want to be close to our loved ones, or we want to come up with a new loved one, and people are still trying to date, right? So if you meet somebody at the grocery store, the gas station, or wherever you might meet, well, you can't just walk up to them and be like, hey, and shoot your shot, right? It ain't going nowhere till 2021. Probably true. So you can't shoot your shot really because social distancing, right? And right now, I don't think it's probably a good time, right, to be shooting your shot, right? So my question is like, well, what do you do? So guy X, right?
Mm-hmm.
He runs into Shannon at wherever, the Piggly Wiggly or wherever Shannon be at.
I got no Piggly Wigglies in Miami. In my
So he sees her and he's like, wow, Shannon. He don't know your name. He just sees you. He's like, wow, that girl, she's amazing. She look, she's pretty, blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So what is he to do if he wants to get your attention in these times?
I mean, did you see the thing on Facebook where the guy was talking to the lady that sat on her rooftop? And
No.
drone with his phone number to her?
No, just carry a whiteboard everywhere and just be like,
I mean, you might as well. But I have business cards.
Yeah, but then he can't touch the business card because the drone got the Rona on it.
The grocery store with gloves on their hands.
I guess so. So hand out a business card.
I mean, how was she gonna get my phone number?
That's true. Okay, so he gets your number, right? And he can't wait till the quarantine's over. He wants to take you on a date.
We can have a virtual date.
What, online? Like what with a get vocal date?
Like Zoom, Messenger, FaceTime. Like you set up your napkin and your plate and your cup and your fork, spoon, and knife, and I'll set up my plate, knife, napkin, spoon, fork, cup, all of that, and we can sit and look at each other and have conversation. Oh, mind blown.
That's true. Or what if he does this?
You ain't got to worry about me eating on your plate.
What if he does this? You're on one side of the street and he's on the other side of the street.
Oh, I don't do bugs.
And then you talk on the phone to each other.
I don't do bugs. We can talk on the phone in our cars to each other, but we not going to be outside. I mean, current day, and I don't know. Somebody said they saw this too, but they don't live in the same city or state or county.
Mm-hmm.
I was driving home. It was either yesterday or the day before. I think it might have been yesterday. And I had noticed like something swarming almost in my window. And it wasn't until I got out of my car that I heard the swarm. And it was like probably hundreds. I don't know if it was flies or bees. It didn't matter. I booked it to my front door.
Oh, wow.
And they were just like swimming around in a circle.
Oh, no.
And I was like, what is happening? They're about to die today. And all I could think of was the movie My Girl, when Macaulay Culkin got stung by those bees. And I was like, yeah, I don't know if those are bees or flies, and I'm not trying to find out. But I was so mesmerized, I kept turning around because I was just certain they were going to come follow me.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually pretty interesting. I was like, please don't bust your head, because I had groceries. But I made it home alive. No stings, no bites, no swarm attack. But I mentioned it to a friend, and she was like, somebody else just told me they saw something just like that. So I don't know what was going on, whether it was just weather or what. But it wasn't like, you know how you'll see a certain amount of them in different places. It was like one area. There wasn't anything dead or anything like that. It was just they were swarming in that area. But they weren't here today, so that's all that matters.
I actually, it's funny, a memory. I had something similar like that. A memory just popped up on Facebook, and I reposted it a couple days ago of a swarm. These were definitely bees. So yeah, that's crazy though.
Yeah, I think that people can still shoot their. I mean, somebody shot their shot, if you will, on one of DJ Nice's sets. They saw the girl in the comments or the feed or whatever, and ended up sending her a message. I mean, you gotta be creative in this day and age. Like Steph said, I don't care what you do, just be 6 feet away.
Mm.
I mean, and I sometimes take that for granted. I mean, just because, like, you know, I go into the grocery store and there's more than 10 people in the store. And I'm not about to stand 6 feet behind you as I'm trying to grab some popcorn. I need you to move. If you don't, that's fine. I'll get what I need and go past you. Because I'm not in there to be lollygagging behind people. I'm in there to get like 8 things and I need to go self-checkout and then I need to go home. Like, it is not I miss being outside because I'm an essential worker. So I'm outside every day. I don't want to be in the store for 2 hours to get 8 items.
No, me neither. Me neither. It's actually not too bad. I went to the grocery store earlier today. It wasn't so bad, but
in the morning.
Yeah, that's when it's bad usually here because that's when the toilet paper would be there. So people be, drop kicking people for toilet paper.
I hope not. And I have to shop for the shelter in the morning, so I hope not. I just can't shop the way I normally do because I usually buy things in bulk, but everything's on a restrictive number item. So that kind of sucks.
It's crazy, man, what's going on. It's crazy times we're living in, but you know what? Some people are benefiting from it financially, and other people are having a hard time. So
Oh yeah. I was just saying that we might as well sit in our houses until July 1st and then have a newfound appreciation on the term Independence Day on July 4th when we can actually come outside our houses. Of course, it means nothing to me because, again, I go to work 5-6 days a week. So, but yeah, everything just changed here because we have a 65 and older order out. So that's like half of our agency. So people are now work at home employees. So that changed how workforce looks at the shelter because, we'll never close unless we need to evacuate. So it's bananas. Like, I've picked up some more shifts because of that.
Wow. How's Teddy doing through all this?
He just jumped in his bag and is laying down.
He stay in his bag, don't he?
No, he was behind me playing with his little lamb. But at a certain time, he goes to bed. I mean, because he knows we're at the shelter. So.
Oh, Teddy P. He's you got a mask for him?
No.
Some people have masks for their dogs.
No, I'm not doing that. However, I don't take him to the store anymore. I don't take him to any public places because I don't want you breathing on him, sneezing on him, coughing on him, and and then I touch him or he be on my bed. I just ordered a turban because I need to be able to pull my hair up because I don't want you sneezing and coughing on me either. And I'm not washing my hair every day either.
Right.
Much. I might as well be bald if I'm going to have to wash my hair every day.
Shannon bald. Let me picture that.
I've been without hair before. I think my hair is a little too chunky in 2020, but I'd make it work.
Yeah. And on that note, how can we get you social media and all that good stuff?
Well, it's all the same: Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Shannon Ford like the president, -Jefferson like the president. Yep, that's it. What about you?
Kinte F on Twitter, Kinte Ferguson on Instagram, and of course, the website is indyradio.org. That's INDY radio.org. And we'll see you next week with an all new episode of Men and Women Talk, the Mars Venus Show. Peace.